Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brighton Area Schools Board of Education meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Ackermite, roll call, please. To the approval of the agenda, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Moved by Dr. Krebs, supported by Ms. Tierney. Any discussion? What's that?
Oh, gotcha. In for future action, letter F, gymnastic cooperative agreement, we're removing that. We do not need to have a discussion on that tonight.
Just eliminate it.
Do they have what is the question? No? So letter F, gymnastic cooperative agreement is being removed from the report tonight as we do not have a discussion tonight.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Stahl to amend the agenda to remove item F for future action. Do we have a second?
Second.
Supported by Ms. Marks. Any discussion?
Just a question. At what point do you expect, Roger, that we would discuss as a board the recent bond election and vote?
The plan is, we have a workshop scheduled for May 19th here in the boardroom, and the topics of that the workshop currently are to discuss the upcoming budget that will have to be approved by the board, and also a further discussion of the bond. And obviously, there's potential impacts on what happened with regard to the bond vote on the consideration of the budget for next year. So those will be basically the two topics of discussion for that evening.
And so for any member of the public that's interested in hearing the board, members of the board speak regarding the bond, what to do next, the budget, that would be an appropriate forum for those members of the public to attend?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a public meeting,
yeah.
and for sure, and that will be the focus of the discussion. Absolutely. Okay, all those in favor of the approval of the agenda as amended signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. All right, that moves us to superintendent report. Dr. Outlaw.
All right, well, thank you all for being here this evening. We have 3 items for our superintendent report tonight. We're going to begin with Shining Stars, and I'll begin that in a moment. Then we'll hear from our outstanding student representatives from Brighton High School. And then we're going to get an update on our English language arts pilot that's taking place across the district here. So let's go ahead and start off. I'm going to call forward our Science Olympiad team, and they're sponsored to be honored first.
Did you want to talk? All right. Hello. My name is Shannon Pereira, and I'm the head coach, the only coach, for both Scranton and the high school Science Olympiad teams. I'm an engineer by training, but also always wanted to be a teacher. So this is a great combination of those two things. I actually wanted to teach kindergartners, though, so, that's okay. I've been the Brighton High School head coach for 11 years, my 6th year at Scranton, and was very involved in the Scranton program before that. And before that, I was the head coach at St. Pat's. So I've been doing this a very, very long time. And to just give you an idea, my youngest daughter graduated from here in 2019, and yet here I am. So it's because I believe in the program, and these kids, they love it, and so it's worth it to me. For those of you that don't know what Science Olympiad is, it's a program that encourages students to explore all areas of STEM, including a lot of things that they won't see in school or they won't see till their junior or senior years. These guys do things such as rocks and minerals, astronomy, anatomy, entomology, which is bugs. I didn't know that word before. Genetics. We have experimental design. We do forensics and crime busters. We have electric vehicle. We do helicopters. We do towers, hovercrafts, robots, machines. We do all kinds of things in all of the different areas of science and technology. And so the really great thing is there's something that every kid can find that they love and that is meaningful. The other thing that I love about Science Olympiad is we learn a lot of general life skills. We talked about this downstairs a little bit, is I might get assigned onto hovercraft with Bill, and Bill and I don't really get along, but we got to figure it out because we have to work together, and that's a life skill, right? You don't get to always pick your coworkers or your freshman year roommate or whatever. And so how do we figure out how to make things work? The other thing that is really fun is, and Lily can talk to a bunch of them can. I coach one called experimental design, where I teach the scientific method. We're given a little pile of junk, and we have to design an experiment, run it, write a full lab report. Well, I have to teach my freshmen significant figures, which for those of you who aren't in the science field, that's this really weird way of doing rounding, kind of, that you don't learn until 10th grade. So I teach my 9th graders, and then they get into chemistry, and I'm like, yes. And like with that event, I get texts. I got one a couple weeks ago from someone who graduated 4 years ago. I had to just write a lab report, and I aced it. Yes, that's great. The other thing that's fun is a couple of my 7th grader and an 8th grader had to do machines this year. They don't know about simple machines and levers and screws and gears and all of that. Now they know something, so that when they get to high school and they do physics, even if they didn't get it now, once they're there, they're like, wait, I've heard this before. You're kind of planting all those seeds and having all of those aha moments, which is awesome. Another fun thing is when some of my high schoolers will coach their peers. That's a great skill, to have to lead, plan a meeting. What are we going to talk about? And things like that. And I do have my high schoolers go sometimes help some of my middle school events, and it's great to see the older kids mentoring the younger ones. That's a lot of fun too. I do have, interestingly enough, several of my alumni who picked their college majors and careers based on an event they did in Science Olympiad, one called hydrogeology. I didn't even know what that meant when it was an event. One of my students, that's what she went into. Who knew? So you just never know what you're going to get from what these kids do. I also love Science Olympiad at the middle school level, especially because until you're really a junior in high school, you're told you will take 7th grade science, you will take 8th grade science, and we do have we're getting some electives in the middle school level, but if you get, I'm not an earth science person, so I apologize to anybody who is, but if that's what I'm having to learn about in school, I decide I don't like science. And there's so much more to science than whatever's in my 7th or 8th grade textbook, and so these guys get to see things that they don't normally get to see, and so that helps them choose what electives they want to take in high school, or I don't want to take this elective in high school, and that's a win too, right? Just to kind of explore and figure things out. So what does Science Olympiad look like? It's a long season. We start organizing in August, and meetings and practices begin in generally October. Competitions go November through either the end of April or early May. It's basically a fall, winter, and spring thing. Many of my students are also athletes involved in band and orchestra, the musical, other extracurriculars. A lot of my high schoolers have jobs, but yet they make time for this because they love it and it's important, and I think that's really impressive. I really do. You middle schoolers, you'll get jobs too someday. So this year, both Scranton and the high school competed at 4 invitationals and then regionals and state, but then they both qualified for states. So that's a lot of competitions. We used to, when I first started, we'd do 2 invitationals for the high school and maybe 1 for the middle school. So we are doing way more than we ever did, and I think our results prove that. You guys really do well throughout the season. For the high school, we had our largest group ever. We had 42 students, which really is 3 full teams, because a team can have up to 15 kids, and we are one of the largest programs in the state. So that's pretty impressive as well. And we've continued, COVID killed a lot of Science Olympiad teams nationwide and in Michigan, and we came back strong, and we've remained strong. The really cool thing is Nicholas is here. He's my only one. 4 of my seniors started in 2021, which is the year that everything for Science Olympiad was virtual. And so I was trying to teach kids, like me and other parents who would help coach, how to do things through Zoom, which is very difficult to do. And then we would sit in our basements, in our bedrooms, in our dining rooms, on our computers all day on Saturdays and do competitions. And it was awful. And yet 4 of them stuck with it all 6 years. Like if I was one of those kids, I would have been like, I am not doing that again. There is no way. I mean, it was nice to not, be able to sit in your pajamas and not have to get up at 5 o'clock on a Saturday. But, so I think that's a really huge testament to this program that they did it the virtual year and thought it was great enough that they stuck with it for the real life. So that's pretty exciting. So amazing group of kids. I am proud of each and every one of you. I hope it's been a great experience, and I'm gonna miss my graduates, and I'll cry. I'll cry at our party, but hope to see all of you back next year. Okay? All right, so let me just announce, I'm gonna just read all the kids' names even though they're not all here. And this will go pretty quick. So my middle schoolers, we have Braden Zapita, Ellen Grulick, Liz Nuss, Cam Rorig, Wyatt Schott, Sam Schrader, Luke Stempian, Nathan Cerny, Melody Thies, Sully Walker, Fiona Wells, Grace Wint, and Lyle Wolf. Yay! All right, then my high schoolers, Olivia Babis, Andrea Batchelor, Piper Barnes, Grant Behringer, Dan Belden, Paige Biltz, Jackson Bradley, Abby Brown, Lizzie Brown, Ian Bungie, Max Catagnani, Grace Davis, Sebastian Garthoff, Daniel Gottwals, Delaney Harville, Hannah Heckel, Holly Heckel, Kaylin Ibrahim, Christopher Kafkakis, Nicholas Kafkakis, Audrey Kinzer, Frank Koss, Madeline Kruger, Avery McDonald, Ryan Michaels, Elena Mullett, Andrew Murray, Elise O'Brien, Jack Reisner, Charlotte Rockwell, Sutton Rose, Norma Simden, Riley Skinner, Emerson Summers, Lily Tierney, Ella Tillman, Sydney Vaxelaire, Sean Walker, Elizabeth Walters Ricketts, Sadie White, Leah White-Durko, and Zach White-Durko. So that's my group of kids. They're amazing, and I'm very proud of them, and you guys should all be very proud of yourselves.
Yeah, both of them.
Nice job. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything you do for the program. Matt, are they want to get their picture taken? What? Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Well, they're leaving, but on behalf of the board, I just want to say congratulations to all of you. A job well done. We're so proud of all of your success and the commitment to the program. Ms. Pereira, thank you. Your leadership is a testament to the growth and success of this program, and I know it's a lot of work, and we recognize that, and we very much appreciate all of your tireless efforts and the success of the program, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great group of kids, so thank you.
Okay, next up, I'm going to have Mrs. Costa and Mr. Ford come forward with all of our DECA students.
All
right, hello, I'm Michelle Costa. This is Ryan Ford. I'm going to speak for him. His voice has left him, unfortunately. We have a handful of our students that were able to attend the highest level of ICDC for DECA. So DECA is a business and marketing organization for high school students to go through a few different levels to compete. It even goes up through the collegiate level, so hopefully some of our seniors will be going off to the next adventure and being a part of that. We had 11 people from our 100-ish that we started with at the start of the year that attended districts. They do a lot to prepare and get set up and ready to go. A lot of these students here are also our officers or potentially to be officers next year. They put a lot of time and effort into helping all of our 100-plus students go through the process from the beginning of the year up through this point right now. And they'll be ready to continue on for next year if they're not graduating. Just a little bit of data, there's 318,093 DECA students from around the world. So DECA is very well known in the business and marketing world. From there were 26,000 members that attended ICDC. So internationals, that was in Atlanta, Georgia this year. They either went down to compete or they went down for an academy to go through some leadership and different skills to bring back into our school or their school and beyond. So DECA stands for Distributive Education Clubs of America. That term hasn't changed over the time. It's been around for 80 years now. So it has, yes, he is supporting the 80-year shirt. So a little bit about them. So like I said, there are some that competed. So Sam, Margot, and Kylie and Alyssa competed there. And Blake and Madeline and Briar went there for an academy for next year's continuation to bring the next set of amazing DECA students through. Do want to highlight Alyssa? She's here. She competed at the ICDC level with 887 students, and she was brought up onto stage and was able to be one of the top 26. And then she went through and competed for a second round. And she made it back up on stage again. And she was what we call fourth in the world. So out of that 887 students, she was the fourth, and this is of the world. And everyone else that competed here, there were 11 that attended ICDC. And the competition level to get to that point is phenomenal. So all that hard work and everything they put into this, we are so proud of our students every year. You know, we're DECA mom and DECA dad here that really get to know a lot and get some, good relationships with our students as the whole year progresses. Is there anything else that I'd like to say? Do any of you want to say anything? Not to put you on the spot. They are marketing and business. So we look forward to another great year next year, and we're just always so impressed with our Brighton students because they go above and beyond for what a student and a leader can do. So we appreciate them.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Sam. Congratulations. Nice job. Congratulations. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Did they already get their pictures also? Did they do pictures?
Yeah, why don't we just get them while they're here? Do you want to come up here? We're going to take a picture. Great. Yeah, sure.
And on behalf of the board, I also want to extend a heartfelt congratulations to all of you. We're so proud of you. You're obviously very talented young leaders, and all your hard work and commitment to the DECA program as an extension of your education, it really speaks volumes to your leadership skills and your commitment, and the future is bright with young adults like you. And to Mr. Ford and Mrs. Costa, also, thank you very much. It obviously takes a lot of hard work and dedication on your part as well to be leaders for this amazing program, and we very much appreciate all of your valuable contributions to the longevity and success of the program. So thank you for being here tonight. Congratulations again, and we really look forward to all of the future successes.
Okay. So next up, Trustee Urbane is going to be giving another Shining Star.
Thank you. You want to come up, Liam? This is Liam Weaver. He's a sophomore at Brighton High School, and this is a little bit different of Shining Star, but I thought that it was an extraordinary accomplishment for one of our Brighton students, and we should recognize it. Liam started skating at the age of 3. He is currently on the Detroit Honey Bake AAA team for hockey, I should say. Everyone doesn't speak hockey like I do. He's been playing with them for 6 straight seasons. This team, earlier this year, won the state championship where they were faced Little Caesars, which was the #1 ranked team. Liam's team was the #2 ranked team in the entire country. Liam's team won states, and then because of their success at states, they were invited to one of the most prestigious hockey tournaments for this age group in the entire world, actually. And it's the OHL Cup. They only invited 2 American teams. Liam's team was one of the American teams, and their success in the tournament, beating the Toronto Junior Canadiens 3-1 in the final to be the first and only American team in 31 years to win this prestigious championship. And Liam also hopes to play college hockey, and he is slated in the lineup for the OHL draft this year.
Best of luck, right? Yeah. Board member, stay there. He's standing by himself. I'll scoot over. There you go. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Liam.
We're going to bring forward our student reps. We're going to get us set up here, but thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're fine.
Is this our last one?
Last one.
Last and final board
Unless you want to
meeting?
come and stop.
No.
I'm all set on that one.
Thank you.
You guys all set here?
Yeah, should be.
We should be.
Okay.
Thank you. Ooh, you're so smart.
Representing.
Sure. Okay, this is our last and final VHS updates. It's kind of sad. Okay, to begin, we had our Unified Field Day, as well as our Unified Youth Camp, which was sponsored by Senior Class Council this year as part of our senior gift. And the leadership class, as well as the link class, got to actually host it this year at the field house. It was raining, so that's why it was at the field house. Otherwise, it would have been at the high school. But I'm actually really impressed with how it went. I thought it went amazing. We had 8 other schools, their unified kids, and also the partners come. And it was just such an incredible event.
event. Everyone was able to come together and we were all playing games. It wasn't a big like team versus team thing. It was more of like all like playing and having fun together. There was like a bounce house, a big parachute, a dunk tank. And everyone was just like laughing, running around, having fun. There was a huge DJ too, so everyone was dancing. And it was just a really fun day. And then later, the youth camp had a bunch of Brighton students from like kindergarten to, I want to say like 5th grade. And that was also super fun. Senior class council was there to run that. And seeing all the little kids just like helping each other and playing together, it was definitely a very fulfilling time. And then we just had prom on literally Saturday. So yeah, it was really fun. This is hosted by Junior Class Council. They fundraised the entire year for this huge event. I believe it was like, I want to say $45,000 to put on, so it's definitely not a small task. And the theme this year was Night in Paris. It was a lot of fun. It was a great turnout, actually. A lot of people were there and stayed for a long time. The music was great. This is Junior Class Council, and then that's our leadership class. We all took a picture, and it was a great night. I'm really proud of Junior Class Council. They did a great job. And then we also had our council banquet, which was hosted by Exec Board. And this year it was at the high school, which I believe we've never hosted it at the high school before, but I thought it was a great idea. In years past, it's been at like either a golf course. Last year, it was just like a little last minute. I guess they're like kind of ran out of time, but this year was really awesome. They had Gus's catered, and we all took turns going up and presenting awards that we made for each other, and the presidents all were able to give speeches. We all took pictures. It was very sad. I did tear up at the end of my speech. It's been such a great year with our councils, and Exec Board, I just want to shout out, has done such an incredible job, like actually working to unify all of the councils together rather than have them do like their own separate events. So I thought it was amazing. I've gotten so close with everybody, like whether they're freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and I think that that's due to Exec Board and our community events. And it was really fun and also sad, but more fun.
Well, Ms. Costa talks a lot about ICDC already, so I'm not going to go too much into it. One more time, just to shout out Alyssa and as well Kevin Hedgie, our good friend. Top 20 in the world is no joke. Super impressive, and everybody, they competed very well and had a lot of fun out there, I heard. Next up, we had teacher appreciation all of last week. So we had a bunch of different groups throughout the school trying to do stuff, and last year, Teacher Appreciation Week kind of got swept under the rug a little bit. So we really wanted to show up this year and get a lot done. So the leadership class had everybody make a note for a teacher. We made sure all 100 teachers were covered, and we hand-delivered a note and a flower to every single teacher at the school during Friday. Exec Board, we kind of had a different theme going for each day of the week. So Monday, we went and took succulents to all the teachers with a challenge to at least make it through the week without them dying. So most of the teachers did pretty good by Friday, but some were not so great. Then we had food catered to them for a lunch, as well as Senior Class Council also catered food. We did a raffle where teachers had the opportunity to win surprises from our downtown businesses. We had a lot of donations from them as well, which was very kind of them. And then this Friday, you can see some of the pictures up there. We had a fun time handing out a fun little pink flamingo coaster that kind of goes in the pool with a drink, a snack, and a sampler from Buff City Soap. Really making sure that all the teachers felt appreciated and recognized this year. Little NHS update. So we just had our final meeting of the year for our 2026 chapter, where we celebrated all of our hard work and service, and the 2027 candidates were officially inducted into the society. The Culture and Caring and Community Outreach Committees worked together this month to spread positivity and support during the testing weeks. And next week is Senior Survivor Week. Our 11 teams have been working hard to raise money and awareness for our charities this year, which is, again, Fund to Life and the Children's Healing Center. And many teams have a lot of events planned out during this week, in the weeks prior, and especially next week coming up. So we're super excited to support them in every way we can. And this Thursday of this week, we have the Senior Survivor Assembly, and we look forward to cheering on these teams and really get a little bit of hype going before our big final push at the end of the week.
And lastly, since this is our last board meeting that we're presenting at, we just want to give a shout out to all of you guys. I'm speaking on behalf of me and Reese here, but I really think that the opportunity to come and present to you guys has helped our leadership skills, our communication skills, our public speaking skills, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to be able to share a little bit of BHS with all of you, so thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
How do I stop?
Well, thank you again, Ellen Reese, for another wonderful presentation. It's just a continuation of all of your incredible presentations all year. It really, it's been impressive, the organization and the information that you share and your speaking skills. And I do think it's certainly, it's a testament to your individual leadership skills. And we're proud of how you've grown, and now as you embark on the next stage of your career, we're very excited for you guys, and wish you all the best of luck, and thank you for being here all year and listening to us, but it's been very educational. We really appreciate it, for sure.
Of course, guys.
you.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Stay there, do the picture, but we'll just take it with the label over your eye. Thank you.
Scoot over with this picture.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great job. Thanks. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And I'm going to call forward Mrs. Boyd and Mrs. Alexander to set up, and they're going to give us an update on the ELA pilot. So as they're coming forward, I just want to just share with anybody who's watching, this is, they're going to give us an update on something that teachers across the district have been working on for a year and a half, or even more at this point. And we're coming to the culmination of a lot of work on this. And Mrs. Boyd and Mrs. Alexander, they took this over after the departure of our former assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction, and they've carried us to the end. And I just want to say thank you to both of you for everything that you've done. Thank you to all the teachers that have been a part of this. It has been an enormous amount of work, and I think the fruits of their labor is going to be felt for many years to come. So I want to turn it over to you all. Are you ready?
We're gonna try this.
You're going to try, okay.
There's no code anymore, even though I was very prepared for a code. Let's try this. Is it up there? HDMI. We can just talk about it. There's an HDMI here, but it's not working with mine.
Is it plugged in?
Yep. Does it go in the front? Sorry, everyone.
Well, how about we just go ahead and
Are you okay
talk
with
about
just
it here.
hearing it? We can always share it later. Sorry about that.
quick.
This is like real life teaching right now when you're in front of your class and your technology doesn't work.
It's a live show.
So thank you for having us back. We did not give you an update in April, so this is our kind of final update on where we've been and the journey we've been in since January and before, Cody and I's journey since January. And so we just want to do a brief overview of kind of where we've been and where we're heading now that we're getting to kind of that final stage of the pilot work and getting to that final recommendation. So as we've shared before, we had 3 programs that we had been piloting. There was one that had been piloted prior, which was Savas, My View and My Perspectives. And in January, we added 2 additional programs, Collaborative Classroom and Amplify CKLA. So these were the 3 things, and thank you, Dr. Outlaw, because our teachers have been working incredibly hard since January, switching programs twice, some of them 3 times. Voluntarily. And so we have done program trainings on each of them. We have done in-person trainings, virtual trainings with all the teachers. We have done continued collaboration. We really put value on having all 4 buildings for grade level and MALT be also involved in kind of that cross conversation, some vertical conversations of how this might look, and really letting them talk to each other from different buildings. We've done a lot of classroom visits. So some of them included reps from the companies coming in and pushing in and seeing our different buildings and letting them ask questions. And others were site visits where we were able to travel to other districts who had implemented these programs. So the teachers were able to connect and collaborate with teachers from another district. I will say the energy that you get from teachers when they get to go see each other at the other districts and things like that is really kind of fun. It's like that teacher lab feeling, and we get a lot of energy from them. They get very excited when they get back from that. The other place that we went was to Howell, so we were able to see Amplify CKLA in action there. Actually, one of our former principals here, Danielle Schmidt, offered her building up, put the schedule together. We had lots of people there, but the teachers were amazing over there letting us in. We had instructional coaches meeting with them as well. And so we've done a lot in a very small amount of time with them being able to see what these things look like in different districts and also ask those questions that only another teacher is going to be able to answer for them and kind of work them through. So it's been a very powerful experience, I think, for both Cody and I, and for all of our teachers involved in our administration.
So we have gathered, we have sent out several different surveys. So we had one big survey that kind of asked them, and it was scheduled to go out as they were wrapping up each pilot. So it was like live capturing that rather than waiting till the end. So they had to fill out kind of rating, what did they think about this one and that one based on different criteria. That one, I think we're almost up to 100 responses now that we get to sort through and see. It was very thorough. They could say things they favored or did not favor about each program. So that'll be all 3. We also did send a final ranking that just said, hey, like, what's your top pick, your second choice, and your last choice, just so we did a double check of like, just making sure that we are picking something solid that's supported by the teachers. And we had a student feedback option, so not putting kiddos' names in it and kiddos not filling out surveys, but ways that they could write to us and tell us their thoughts, ways that the teachers could survey them and get their thoughts. And then we even went and surveyed some kids ourselves. So we're looking forward to this week, in fact, the next couple of days, really digging into all of that and reading all the comments and just seeing where things sit.
We had some very passionate 5-paragraph persuasive essays that came out of some of our kids. So it was really neat to hear their voices and how they were feeling about, the engagement in the classroom and the different pieces. So it's always good to hear what the students have to say. So our next step then would be all this feedback that we have taken over the last couple months, really kind of go through it, figure out with the rankings, with the feedback. As we know, any program that we choose is going to need tweaks and adjustments as we go, right? Anyone would tell you that. But really, what is the best program that we can recommend to the board based off of our feedback and what is best for our students in research and all the things. So our goal would be at our next board meeting on June 8th that we would, first we would go to the board academic committee, skipped a bullet there, and bring that final recommendation to the academic committee so that we can look through it, answer any questions, and present to them all of our information. And then the final recommendation would come to the full board on June 8th at the Board of Education meeting for your approval. Does anyone have any questions?
Survey?
Yeah. I just want to reiterate, this was you moved it to K through 5, correct? Correct. Yes. Okay. And not necessarily you guys, but just reminding the board that we still have work to do 6 through 8
Correct.
once we get this
Yes.
settled. And then I just want to say thank you. The feedback, the surveys, the thoroughness that you guys have done has really made a difference. We've heard from a lot of people, at least I have, people have reached out and said they really feel heard. They feel like this is going to make a difference and this is going to move their kiddos forward, especially those that were doing letters training and this and piloting 3 different things at the same time. I mean, it's a Herculean effort for anybody. Yes. But they wanted to voluntarily do it. And I think that shows the buy-in that our staff has had into improving our literacy scores, which whatever you say about them, there's always room. We need to improve. We have more kids that need to get proficient. Absolutely. So thank you, and thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Dr. Krebs?
So, first of all, thank you for all your work. And I just want to add a clarification to the delivery method. So the academic committee was meeting June 1st.
Yes.
And the idea is that after we meet, it's going to go out to the whole board so they can see it and have questions.
Yes.
Because of the timing, when we get to the June 8th meeting, it's going to need to go immediately to, for action. So we're not going to get an opportunity to do it for future. But the intention is that you'll have it that week before, that if you have any questions.
Yes.
But again, thank you for your work, really. Of course.
I just want to highlight the fact that you talk to the students. I think sometimes when we make the decisions at the table or from out, we're not including their voices. And so I just appreciate that there's a little student voice in this decision too. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Honestly, being in the building too with kids, you hear them talking about it in the hallways. Like
They give opinions freely, too.
They do.
They do.
They do.
They'll just tell you.
Yep. But it's been really neat to hear them have discussion and have that nice dialogue with their teachers as well about their own learning and that ownership of that as well. So it's been great. Thanks for all your support
Yes,
as well.
thank you very much. We know
Thank you
that
very
was a-
much. Thank you for being here tonight and giving us the update, and we very much appreciate it.
Okay, of course.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that concludes the superintendent report and moves us to the call to the public portion of our agenda. This is the opportunity for anyone who would like to address the board, the opportunity to do so. Our protocol is to fill out a card in the rear of the building, or the rear of the room, I should say, deposited in the box to the left of Mr. Jones. I will call your name. When I do, you will have 3 minutes to address the board. It's not a question and answer session. It's just an opportunity for you to address the board. Mr. Stahl will be keeping track of time. When there's 30 seconds left in your allotted time, he will give a yellow card indicating that warning, and then when the 3 minutes is up, he will display the red card. As of right now, I have 1 card. Sid Atkin.
You hoped you were done with me. So Sid Atkin, parent of Bryan High School students. Like many people in this community, and I'm sure on this board, I spent the last week reflecting on the failed bond vote and trying to focus less on what happened and more on what comes next. The No campaign was organized, motivated, and effective in shaping the narrative around this bond. They tapped into frustration that has clearly been building in parts of the community. And honestly, that frustration should be heard. Over the years, Brighton has made significant investments in athletics and high-profile projects. And to be clear, I supported those bonds because I believe that they strengthened the student experience and helped build reputation this district enjoys today. But I also understand why some community members now feel that if the school has money for an indoor field house, then the building infrastructure was not made a priority in the past. There is a reality that the Brighton difference has been fully funding some programs while other areas, especially music and performing arts, have had to wait their turn. What made this bond different is it was finally starting to address some of that imbalance. For music, this meant a new band room, dedicated orchestra classrooms, choir room upgrades, and long overdue improvements to the BCPA. These were meaningful investments for students who have spent the years making do with less. For many families, this was the first time they've truly felt seen in a district bond proposal. I also think it's important to recognize that not every no vote came from the same place. Some votes were concerned about cost, some lacking information, some were frustrated with past spending decisions, and yes, some people are simply against all bond proposals, regardless of size and scope. The loudest voices against the $156 million would likely have been loud voices against $156,000. No new taxes means no new taxes, end of story. So I do not believe that the lesson from this election is to shrink the vision. I think the lesson is to improve the communication, adjust the bond, sure, but don't gut it. Because yes votes are there. There will be a low turnout. This was a low turnout election. I expect November to be different. Our focus cannot be on arguing daily with the loudest online critics. It has to be in inspiring and informing the broader community that still believes in strong public schools and understands the long-term vision and value in investing in students. I appreciate the district holding bond meetings, information meetings, but they were lightly attended and did not have the impact we hoped for. We need to have more effective ways to engage in the community moving forward. It is all about building the trust. Trust is what built through listening, communication, and making people feel included in the future of their district. We have a tremendous school district, one to be proud of. That doesn't mean the job is done. Improvement is needed, and needed now, not years from now. I do not envy the decisions ahead regarding the time and scope, but I hope we move forward quickly, thoughtfully, and determined to get this right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Evelyn Malloy?
I heard this addressed earlier, but I only heard part of it. You might want to know that for people with hearing challenges, even wearing hearing aids, you're kind of far from your microphones. The speakers are not situated or oriented in a way that we can hear this far back. At least I couldn't. So someone said that items for future action would be discussed at a meeting. I could not catch the date.
So the meeting that's, the items that are on this for future action at our regular board meeting, those will be addressed at our next regular scheduled board meeting, which is June 8th.
Okay, and what was the discussion that was going to happen on June 1st? I heard that date, but no understanding of what it was.
So May 19th, what came up earlier was the question of when we are going to talk about the bond that, that was voted on last week, where we go from here. We're having a board workshop, a public meeting here in this room on May 19th. It's Tuesday night. And the purpose of that workshop is to discuss our budget, which we have to approve under state law coming up in June. And then also as part of that conversation, talk about the bond and where we go from here. So those are the two items that will be on the May 19th workshop agenda, which aren't on this for future action, because this relates to what we're going to be talking about at our next regular scheduled meeting.
Right, I understand that. Thank you very much for filling me in on the blanks there. And in this column, it references report numbers and pages. Where are those records available to the public?
They should be posted on our website. We post the notice of the meeting, the agenda, and then there's a link for the actual packet, the board packet, which has the reference to these pages. If for whatever reason you can't locate it, feel free to contact Ms. Akramite in Dr. Outlaw's office, and she can email you whatever
I was
information
looking at
you're
it
looking for.
on my phone. You know, that's not the best. Anyway, I am very concerned about the discussions for the 19th. I'm going to make every attempt to make that meeting. I don't understand why it had to be a special election. I think that's counterproductive unless you really want low voter turnout. But I will try to delve into these things and become more educated before the next meeting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, that closes the call to the public portion of our agenda, moves us to for action. Item A, regular meeting minutes of April 13, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? Moved by Mr. Stahl, support by Ms. Marks. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. That moves us to item B, Human Resources Report. Dr. Outlaw?
Mr. Anastasov was not able to be here. This is obviously a very busy time in the district. Just to give a note of appreciation to all the people that are involved in the hiring process at this time. We have many teacher positions that are in focus right now. We have some administrative positions as well. You have in front of you our Human Resources Report at table. We have 3 new hires that are in front of you for consideration this evening. One is Alan Levine for Scranton Middle School grade level principal. That was an exhaustive process led by our Scranton principal, Mr. Rudolph, with the assistance of Human Resources and many others. So that's Mr. Alan Levine. Second is Kaylee Adams, also Scranton Middle School special education teachers, replacing a retiring teacher. And then our third is Skylar Hukala, who would be split between Hawkins and Spencer, another special education teacher who would be replacing somebody who is also retiring. So that's what's on for us tonight, and we are seeking your approval.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the Human Resources Report as presented? Moved by Mr. Storm. Support by Mr. Stahl. Any discussion?
I'd like to I was at the Scranton interviews, and I'm really excited about the decision. I think Mr. Levine
right.
is a great choice, and I think I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, my understanding is there was a tremendous amount of very qualified candidates that applied for that position, which is obviously something that I'm very proud of, that we're an attractive district, and in light of that, and from the feedback that I've heard about Mr. Levine as well, really looking forward to him joining the district and seeing the leadership qualities that he possesses and taking the district forward in Scranton in particular. All right, any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. That moves us to item C, Board Policy 5501G.
So this came up at the last meeting. We tabled it because we wanted to clarify some of the language. This is kind of tightening up existing policy. And we inserted, there were some concerns about eliminating certain fundraisers in the way that we had placed it, but this pertains to raising money for third-party organizations outside of the district. I think we felt at the last meeting that we had accomplished that goal with the shift in language, and so we were ready to move it forward for action.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the Board Policy 5501G as presented in the packet? Moved by Dr. Krebs, supported by Mr. Stahl. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. Item D, BCPA stage lift. Mr. Jones?
Yes, so we are asking the board to approve the proposal of Kone Incorporated, who is our elevator contractor that the district uses to remove the wall panels that go around the stage lift over at the theater, over at the high school. Those are, at the end of their life, need to be replaced and are actually, there's a lot of safety features that are built into there that are starting to fall apart. So they will remove the old panels, they will fabricate brand-new panels to fit, and then they will come in and install those panels and all associated safety features that go with it. The total price is $274,629, and I just want to add, too, that we worked with the BCPA folks to make sure that we can get this done in a window where the stage is free, we're not interrupting with anybody's schedule. Questions?
Mr. Jones, this also includes those carts for moving the panels.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry to add that, yes. It's a very tight space down there, and they recommended they will manufacture special carts, so when the walls are taken down, they'll go on those carts. They'll be easier to move and to store.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the proposed contract with Kone as presented? Moved by Dr. Krebs. Supported by Mr. Stahl. Any discussions?
I just want to ask about the timing. I understand that you have timing set up.
Yes.
When do you expect it to happen?
So there is an event, I believe it is the third weekend in July. As soon as that event is done, they will get in there and start working, and then they asked for 4 weeks, but they want 5 weeks just to be safe, which means it'll be done right around Labor Day.
Okay, great, thank you.
So on that note, I know that the BCPA is utilized as part of, opening day, and so that would probably conflict with that timing.
Yeah, potentially. So we will have a contingency plan in the case that BCPA is not available.
Okay. All right. All right, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. Moves us to item E, field trip request. Dr. Outlaw.
Last month, for future action, we had the presentation from the Safe Route to School Coalition. The action item tonight is a letter of intent, which you find in your packet on page 46. This contract would come later, the specific contract. This is a letter of intent for us to enter into consideration. This is what they need in order to move the project forward. At a later date, when they approve their side of it, we would work out the details of the specific contract. But this is a letter of intent that we are open to working with them. This is action item. This is action item F. So What questions do you have? I know,
This is action item E, field trip request.
no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I jump over?
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I jumped right ahead. We have a field trip to New York City first that is on here. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead one. Safe Connect, so we already have the, safe route here. There is field trip requests from the high school choir trip to New York City. Any questions on that?
All right,
I have just one quick question, just more for education than anything else, so I'll turn this on. Historically, when student groups travel, it's a remarkable agenda. I read through that, presenting at Carnegie Hall, et cetera. Incredible experience. I couldn't believe, it's like $3,500, $3,700, somewhere in there. How does that typically get managed by the district? Is that more of the student group that's involved with parental guidance and teachers? Or does the district actually kind of oversee how that is?
So it is from the district, we're the guardrails and approval. There's an entire process that you see in the packet where they have to answer information.
Yeah,
There's
standard question.
Yeah, there's rules and approval. It's mostly done
I'm
at,
speaking specifically about procuring it. So it looked like it went to like
Yes.
a third-party agency who specializes in these
Yeah.
sorts of tours. But I mean,
Happens.
that's a lot of money per student.
It is. For example, our Washington DC field trip, we have a, point person for that. She works with a company that helps to set everything up. I'm assuming it's the same thing here for the choir trip.
What's the per cost roughly? Does anyone know? And Roger, you've been involved in that before, right? The Washington DC field trip? What is the rough general cost of that? What is it roughly?
Mr. Rudolph's here.
It's about $1,800.
1,800 roughly?
1,800.
$1,600 to $1,800? So this is like 2 times the Washington DC field trip. Wow, that's a lot of money.
But I thought that was just for the first one. I thought the other ones weren't the same price. I thought the other two. There's a big discrepancy. This is the one that that's the one? That they're recommending. Okay, because there were 2 other trips.
I was just really surprised when I read through it. I thought, wow, 3,000, whatever it was, $700 or whatever the dollar amount is. It's a lot of money. Twice the Washington DC trip. That's pretty meaningful. So does maybe Sid knows, I mean, do the band instructors kind of
Yes.
give it the thumbs up, or how does that work?
So we work with we discussed in our booster meeting, discuss whether or not this is basically tend to a big trip every other year, international 4 years, the New York trip every, so you gotta go local-ish, New York,
Rome.
local-ish, international. So kind of every other year is a bigger trip. So we do fundraisers throughout the kind of 2-year period. So usually the local ones are more, a lot more economical, usually under $1,000. We did Cincinnati 2 years ago, I think for under 400. With the thought of these bigger trips, it takes a couple years to, save up that and fundraise that as much as you can. So this opportunity came up. I mean, it's pretty, obviously, Carnegie Hall is very prestigious. There's workshops involved. There's a whole thing that was kind of weighing. Is this? There's a higher cost with having that part of the experience, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was kind of weighed during our discussions.
The reason I ask, and again, I'm curious more than anything, how, with a price tag that high, how do we collectively ensure that students aren't left out? Is it because there's enough funds that are raised independent of the district that the students who want to attend that trip, it's not a...
So we do have some scholarships available. The scholarships don't cover the full cost. There's still some student responsibilities, but if somebody has a hardship and can't cover the full cost, there is an opportunity to apply for a scholarship, which will pay for part of it. And then, but again, we try to have fundraising efforts over those 2-year period to save up that money. I mean, there is still a little bit of a hurdle, but if someone's determined to go, I think there's enough opportunities to get them to that amount of money.
So if a student doesn't have the financial wherewithal at home to be able to pay out of their pocket to attend, The dollars that have been raised will afford that student an opportunity to participate?
They had to take some of their own responsibility of earning some part of funds through different fundraising efforts. There's some that we do, there's they also fundraise on their own. But then there is a scholarship that the choir boosters do sponsor to try to help make that closer when we can.
Are any students not able to attend due to the financial cost of the trip?
I am sure, so I'm sure, I'm not in those conversations exactly, but I know each family is different. So like last year, we had an international trip to Spain and France. I had 2 kids that were of age, kind of senior and a freshman. We had long, hard discussions about whether or not we could send both kids on that trip. And since, you know, it's an every 4-year thing for an international trip, it was my freshman's only opportunity to go international was to do it. Ultimately, we made the decision as a family that we would make it work. We did some, you know, they did do some fundraising and that helped. But ultimately, we still had to, you know, make that commitment. But we try to announce it as early as we can, and so people know that it's coming. And give that opportunity to raise those funds. We do great with, like cookie dough fundraisers. We do like pizza ones. We do all, you know, a lot of those things that people do. And then the choir council students will also try to set up fundraisers and stuff, especially in the years leading up to those big trips.
Thank you, Sid.
Absolutely.
All right, I don't think we have a motion, do we? Okay, it's, for all that conversation. So do we have a motion to approve the field trip request as presented?
So moved?
Moved by Ms. Marks, supported by Dr. Krebs. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. Moves us to item F, the Safe Route Connector at Scranton, which I think we've already had the presentation, so.
So we are seeking your support for resolution for the Safe Route Connector at Scranton Middle School as presented.
Do we have a motion to approve the Safe Route Connector at Scranton letter of intent as presented? All right, moved by Mr. Stahl, supported by Ms. Tierney. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any nays? That passes 7-0. That concludes our for action portion of the agenda. Moves us for future action. Item A, LESA Budget 2026-2027. Dr. Outlaw?
Yep, this is the annual consideration of the LESA budget. If you do have specific questions about that budget, we've forwarded all that information. Please let us know. Mr. Jones can answer certain questions, or we can have Dr. Hubert from LESA that can answer any questions that you have in this as well. So this would be something that we would ask, that the county would ask, be approved at your next meeting on June 8th.
Mr. Bain?
I just want to state that I have serious concerns about this budget, especially given the amount of money that LESA is spending trying to fight the pupil accounting. We understand that they employ the pupil accountants. That's fine, but they are spending an extraordinary amount of our taxpayer funds to fight us on things that, you know, we and our attorneys believe are legally allowed to do on the shared services program. So I have serious concerns in supporting this budget.
What do you recommend we do, I mean, as a board?
I plan to vote no.
What can we do other than vote no? I asked because
No, I think-
in prior years, I've asked, why are we, if there's nothing we can do to materially affect the budget, why do we even have to vote on it? So I'm curious what you feel we can do as a board to impact or affect what you just described.
I do think that, especially as if a majority of Brighton voted no, that at least it would get their attention, and hopefully they'll have some further discussions with us. I mean, I agree with you that there's not much else we can do, but I'm hoping to at least get their attention.
I will vote no, just so you know. I'll state that publicly, so you have my support to vote no.
Dr. Outlaw?
If I could just share, we do intend, President Myers and myself, to meet with the president of the LASA board and Dr. Hubert. I've already talked to Dr. Hubert about that, to talk about some of the concerns that you raised. We'd like to do that prior to the June 8th meeting.
That's what I was going to ask. Could we potentially make that happen before, so we could have that information before we vote? That, I
Yes,
think, would be
that's our
helpful.
intent.
Okay.
And I share the same concern. I think it's, the extent to which they've been fighting that is not right. All right. All right, item B, property tax L 4029.
Yes.
Mrs.
So I'll be
Jones.
presenting at the next board meeting, the annual, which we always do in June, the property tax document, the L 4029, which goes out to all of our 5 taxing bodies that collect taxes for the district, to report to them what the millage rates are for next year.
All right, any questions about that topic? All right, that moves us to item C, final budget 2025-2026, and projected budget 2026-2027.
It's the next part of that, which is in June, as by regulation, the board must approve a budget for next operating year. So I will be presenting a final budget for this fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026, and the proposed budget for next year, fiscal year 2027.
Okay, any questions?
I have a couple questions. Dave, you always do such a really nice job for us and for our community preparing the budget. What are your just initial thoughts leading in, into the next session where we have that conversation? We're going to have a workshop here in a few weeks. I mean, what's your general sentiment on where we're at in the budget planning cycle and how we should collectively think about the next budget?
Are you asking about actual performance?
I
or
am.
just how the information is flowing?
Yes,
Okay.
both.
So, at this point in time, based upon the proposed budgets that are out there, I don't see any significant type of an increase. And basically, the increase we're going to get from the state is exactly the same as the increase that are in all of our bargaining unit contracts for next year. So I see next year being what I will call very stagnant. It's going to just be kind of a roll forward of this year. So, and as I had talked about, after the federal funds ran out, and we are now back in what we call back to our norm, things are going to be fairly tight.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Any other questions, discussion points regarding that item? Obviously, there'll be much greater discussion on the 19th. So, all right. Moves us to item D, resolution Title III.
Real quick, as is, pretty much happens every year, the amount of Title III dollars that the district is given are very, very small dollars with a lot of requirements, and so we'll put forward a resolution not to accept the Title III dollars again for next year.
All right. Okay, moves us to item E, the bridge new course offerings. Dr. Allah?
If you're okay with it, I'd like to have Mr. Vecchione come forward.
Sure.
And maybe have a chance to talk about this. As he's coming up, Mr. Vecchione is a retired Brighton High School administrator for many years, and he is back and he is serving as our principal of our Bridge Alternative High School at this time. So thank you, Mr. Vecchione, for your patience.
That's okay. Thank you, Dr. Outlaw.
Thanks for being here.
I do have to get up early tomorrow, just remember that, though. So we are looking at proposing 2 new courses for the Bridge for next year. Meeting with a lot of the older students, especially here at the Bridge, they're credit deficient, and we have no GED program or anything to help them get to the GED. So our first course what we're asking for is a GED prep course. What it is that there are online programs with practice tests, and you have one of our teachers mentor the group in the classroom, and they take tests throughout the semester. And when they're ready to take the actual GED, then they have an opportunity to be successful with it, not just walking in cold. I think it also will help us draw some more older students back to the Bridge, because we don't offer any of that for them currently. The other course we're asking for is called community service. These students don't always survive in a traditional school setting. We have flexibility in how we provide credit for things they do for us. So currently we are offering work study credit. I also want to open up the door to offer community service credit. This builds leadership skills, it brings them back into the community, and from my perspective, it builds the reputation that the Bridge kids are pretty cool people. Currently, the reputation out there still is they're delinquents. They're not delinquents. They're a wonderful group of young people. Come visit them, talk to them. They're really awesome. We met with Karen's story from the chamber. Karen's going to put out a Google Doc to all the local merchants, asking for if they need any help, volunteer help from our kids. We'll do it for summer school credit, help them build back their credits that they've lost through the traditional means. So many of the kids are excited about it. Hopefully we kick it off well this summer. But I'm a patient man to a certain degree. I understand it's our first step towards this, but we really are trying to come up with opportunities for our kids to get out there and work with the community, and people say, hey, these are pretty cool people. What we are doing right now is I met with all four elementary principals and Malky principal. We are going to take a group of kids over there during their recess to help them manage the soccer games. So we've already been to Spencer. We have lined up Hilton. We're lining up Horning, Hawkins, and Maltby, and get these kids over there. Our kids get a chance to be running around a little bit, not just cooped up in a classroom, but it gives the kids, the little younger kids, a chance to see that our kids are our leaders as well. It's our hope that by doing more of this with our community and more within our schools, we'll be able to build a bigger program at the Bridge. It's not a bad place to be. So that's why I'm asking if you can give us those 2 courses. I need them sooner than later, only because I have to probably build a schedule. But again, it's something we've talked about as a staff and with our students as well. Any questions? I hope I said it. I was pretty good at that.
I lost my voice, so
Oh, I can
you
hear
have
you.
to listen real close. But I just wanted to say that every student needs somebody like you in their corner, so I appreciate your passion and everything you do for them to make them successful. So
Don't get me to cry. Don't do that right now. It's a good group
I
of
was
kids.
just going to echo Mrs. Tierney's comments. I appreciate the creative thinking and the opportunity to grow the program and give our students here in this building opportunities that they're not currently having access to. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Can I address the other request I had? Does that kind of tie into those courses?
Yeah, I was going to mention it in our report, but go ahead.
So I did we did request a 12-passenger van for the Bridge. It doesn't have to be exclusively the Bridge, because we had talked about maybe some of our competition teams using it. We would prioritize it for the Bridge. Our kids don't drive. I think I have 3 or 4 kids that have access to a car. We want to be able to take them to these places and pick them up and bring them back. In addition, I met with the high school principals, and we are going to be partnering with them better for electives for our kids. We can't offer anything besides art. It's all we have in our building. But our kids like the academics with us, but we want to give them opportunities to experience some of those great electives that the high school has. They can't get back and forth. So we're asking for a 12-passenger van because it only takes a chauffeur's license to drive it. They're only $35 a piece, so it's not going to break anybody. And the teachers are willing to go get those chauffeur licenses. And then we'll just rotate who drives when and who, and how many kids we can get over there. So I met with a couple of Scranton parents currently, and I told them our goal is to have their electives at the high school and their academics with us. And that already excited them a little bit because they didn't want to give away the auto class, the graphics class. So again, I think by doing that, it allows us a chance to build the program stronger and for the future. I only ask that you give us time. It's not going to happen overnight. It probably won't happen in September. I understand the numbers are down. But it is our goal to market this. It's our goal to get out there, and it's our goal to build the Bridge back to where it was. So if you can, oh, I'm sorry.
So I was just going to echo what the other 2 had said, that thank you for all your work on this.
It's been fun.
I agree. Thank you for your work, and I know that you care about students a lot. But I do have a few questions.
That's okay.
If the students want to go to the high school for electives, why wouldn't we just house them there for the full day? We have space at the high school. Why would we be transporting them back and forth? What's the advantage of that?
100% agree.
Having been a high school principal, and I share it at the board committee where I met, when I talked to them last week, we tried that with the freshmen one year. It didn't work. There's no way to isolate them enough. I went back to talk to the Bridge kids after that same question came up at the committee meeting. I have one student who I'm trying to get into an AP class at the high school. He refuses to go back at all. They like the small classes, the small hallway, not the combustion of a 2,000 kid school. I understand where they're coming from. So academically, they love the teachers here. Every single student I talk to, what do you like most about the bridge? Small class size. They care about us. I feel like I'm part of a real community. If you could give us that at the high school, I'm all for it. But I know the high school. I know these kids. I can't find any place in that high school where you could put them.
Creative, but.
The STEAM Center.
I also, I mean, if the kid doesn't want to go for the AP class, they're not going to go for another elective,
No,
right?
no, this
So
student
that's
won't.
why I think there's the disconnect. If they're okay going for the elective, why wouldn't they be okay being there longer?
Every one of these students has their own unique needs. He won't go back for anything. I'm not going to keep asking him to go back for anything. He's quite content here for all his classes. He's a super sharp young man. He's going to graduate on time. I'm not worried about him at all. There are other students here that need to experience their strengths. We have no music program. We have no culinary program. We have no autos program. We can get them to that one class, pick them up and bring them home. I'm sorry, bring them back to their bridge. I'm calling it home now. I'm there so often. It allows them to experience something positive from that perspective, but still be safe where they feel safe here. I understand all the issues. I understand the financials. These young people, I can't see them surviving a day in the high school.
Mr. Vecchio, I shared this with you,
I know.
when we met in committee, and I think for anyone that's attended these meetings on a regular basis, many people in the public have heard me advocate strongly in an unwavering fashion for the Bridge program. I shared with you when we were meeting, in committee, the teachers that are involved in the Bridge program are absolutely incredible, super talented. And I shared with you, and they've all heard this. I mean, I have some of my closest childhood friends went through similar programs as the Bridge program. What I continue to grapple with is what, Mr. Bain is raising. It feels like we're now starting to create like this separate high school. They don't have an auto program. They don't have this. They don't have access to AP courses. They don't have access to auto mechanics. They wouldn't be able to function if they went over into the high school environment. The question I posed to you, and I was going to ask Dr. Altla at the end of this discussion for this particular agenda item is, what is the attendance rate for students that attend the Bridge program?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Attendance rate?
It wasn't good.
Horrible.
I know, I'm there.
Horrible.
Believe me, I know, I live it every day. And that's something we have to continue to work towards.
But one of the things, like, I feel we owe to every student, every single student in this district, is that when you leave this district, the cold, hard facts of life set in really quickly. And if you're unable to truly work with other people, and if you're unable to go into an environment that may not always be comfortable, it's going to be tough sledding in life. And I think that we don't, I want to be careful that we're not to a point where we're almost like coddling children, young adults, versus doing our part to provide them with an environment to be successful that gives plenty of options and opportunity for students of all types. But at the end of the day, the student still needs to come to school, and the student still needs to show up for graduation.
No, they don't.
Right? This is me speaking.
I know,
right?
I understand.
So, here we are now starting to contemplate investing in transportation. We're contemplating and adding more classes. We're programming. I would love to work with this group, this body, and figure out how could we create a space that meets the needs of the Bridge within the high school in a more controlled environment and doesn't expose them to the craziness of a high school, hallway. And I think we can do that without having to now start buying transportation and, thinking about Andy who can't get over to Auto Tech when our Auto Tech program wants more students.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, and I respectfully disagree.
Yeah.
I really do. Because even if we were at the high school, I'd still ask for the van. These kids are not afraid of working in the public. They're not afraid, most of them have jobs. They're not afraid of that kind of stuff. A high school population is not the real world. It's a high school population. By the time they graduate, they're young adults. Having seen a ninth grader walk into the high school and then watching them graduate 4 years from then, they're not the same person. These young people have a difficult time in that kind of an environment. It's not out there in the community as much. We have to get them out there, but they're not afraid to go to the community. They've had bad experiences in a traditional school, and it's not been positive for them. I don't coddle any student. I never will coddle a student. Believe me, they think I'm the meanest guy in the world some days down here. The reality is, academically, they can't flourish in that kind of an environment because of the stress and anxiety that many of them feel. They can go and work a job after school, no issue. They can do different things in the community with their friends, no issue. It's, again, I know what they're talking about. I lived it for 9 years as a high school principal. Even the best kids in a high school can make you feel pressured.
Have you ever seen the movie Stand and Deliver?
Yeah,
What'd you think of that movie?
it's part of who I am today. It's amazing, that movie.
Right, amazing story.
Yeah, but the whole school is like Stand and Deliver's classroom. We don't have that luxury here in Brighton.
I mean, so
Wish we did.
A lot of the themes, one, that was a true story.
Yep.
And two, a lot of the themes that I hear here tonight really correlate with.
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all.
That
That was pretty, it's a strong message. I may have to show the students, by the way, thank you. I may have to have a movie day with them.
One of the best.
Our goal is, and again, whether we do it at the high school and you can find us a spot that's isolated, believe me, I wish we had it. Because again, I don't like them here either.
What about the old JROTC rooms that we toured a year ago?
Where are they at?
Large.
Matt Jordan's old room
No, yeah,
in the middle of the building.
yeah. That's the problem. 'Cause we tried the ninth grade academy downstairs. Tried to isolate them in there, down by where Scott Jacobs' office is at.
If you
And
could do alternate hours, so the kids go, say they break at 10:05 and 1,000 kids are running through the hallway, and Bridge does their break at
that might be something for us to
10:30
look
and no
at.
one's in the hall?
Again, I'm not saying down the road we don't do that, and I'm not saying that at all. But either way, we still are looking at how do we get these kids alternative credits that are not traditional, and if so, how do I get them there? I can't get them there any other way.
I have a couple more questions, if you don't mind.
No, you're fine.
So I know enrollment has declined. I doubt the need for this type of program has declined. So what is unique about our program that people would want to choose it over some of the other programs that are in the county? Howell's program is excelling. There are some other alternatives. There's online schools now. There's a lot of other alternatives. If we can't make it successful for these kids, don't we owe it to them to allow them to go to a successful program?
I think we are making a success for these kids here. The kids that we have captured and are able to hold, again, I'm not disagreeing with you about the attendance in this building. Like I say, we've lost some structure over the time. It's not the same Bridge it was 10 years ago. I understand that. We are not giving them not a quality education. We're giving them a very good education here. I need to get the word out that it's a very good education. Howell's program, because we try to send one of our students there, has its ups and downs too. It focuses more on the older student. It's more GED work. It's work study. All those type of avenues. We want to put the same things back in place here. We have to evolve. We didn't evolve. Our kids want to stay here because of the community that they feel. If we can do it cheaper or at the high school, I'm not against it. I just don't know how to do it. Maybe the alternate hours. I don't know. But I still believe they need to be in the community. Their reputation is still bad in Brighton. Why? They're great kids.
Go ahead.
Where does that come from? I don't.
They've had some tough years.
Well, who in the community, if you walk down the street and just poll someone, would say a Bridge student's a bad student?
Probably if I walked into Brighton High School tomorrow.
I mean, you've been a lifetime educator, so you're very familiar with the Bridge program. I don't hear any negative conversation when I interact with people in the general community about the Bridge program.
Where you're going to hear it the most is from other kids.
One-
And that's
just
what our kids hear, because that's what they're on social media. I'm sorry.
One more question.
Yeah,
So you said most of these kids have jobs.
but yeah, I have part-time jobs.
But we need to transport them so they can work. I'm just trying to understand, and then also,
I want all of them to be out there, not just a few of them out there. I
okay,
want them
so it's
all to
only
be-
a few of them that work, not all,
No,
not the
that-
majority.
My kids with cars, they work. I have one kid who walks probably 3 miles to work and back every day. And they're doing school day now, because, and they're not
And
getting
then-
any credit for it.
My concern is also, we are basically saying, if you want help with transportation to work or to another CTE program in the county or something else, then you need to go to the bridge. And we're not providing the same opportunities for our kids that are currently enrolled at Brighton High School to provide them transportation to get to work or to another CTE program.
You could use the van for both.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The hard part is, and it really was a tearjerker for me when I first got here, is the number of students in this building don't even have a parent. They don't, I mean, I've dealt with broken families. This is devastating to me to some extent. And I have a homeless 19-year-old girl who's trying to get her driver's license, trying to make enough money to buy a car, who now doesn't come to school because work was more important. So she's losing that credit because I can't get her back to school to get her I have to oversee the work to give her the credit. I want to work with these kids. She wants to come back here, but she can't do both. And I'm not saying that a CTE student at the high school who has no transportation wouldn't go too. I'm not asking for it to be exclusively the bridge. What I'm saying is the bridge kids, I have a CTE student starting next year, a firefighter. He's a senior in high school with no transportation whatsoever. So now he's going to find someone to get him there, but I don't know how to get him back. Which means that he won't make it to class. I'm sorry.
Just to put this in perspective a little bit, the staff at the bridge has been very much part of a solution on this. We have been looking at the challenges of this for more than a year, where we've been looking at opportunities and studying. Our bridge staff came forward with a number of ideas, working with Mr. Vecchione, but it started before Mr. Vecchione.
Oh, yeah.
And they have been working to make this program better, to address curricular issues, to create more opportunities, to give more work study. This year, they piloted several things, career awareness and preparation courses. They have been working to improve that quality and trying to make this more appealing, but also just to improve the overall quality of this program. So just so that you know that, I just wanted you to know that the staff has been part of the solution. They have a plan going into next year, that they have several key things that they're doing this year. The big part of it that they need is they need help with transportation. They do want to get people out into the community. They want to have more job opportunities, and they would like to have more access.
There's
So
job
that's-
opportunities galore. We are
Agreed.
busing people from Flint, Michigan into Brighton to work in every single restaurant on Grand River Avenue. Buses are driving from Flint, Michigan, full of people, because none of these businesses have people in Brighton to hire. And my son is one of the business owners. If any of them need a car, tell them to go up to Stormy's Outdoor Services and apply, and they can run a weed whacker and a mower for $22 an hour. 22. And they can buy a car in a matter of months.
Some of the
We are
information.
busing people. I live on Grand River and Hilton by Jennifer. There is a bus that comes off of I-96 3 times a day?
Yeah, probably.
3 times a day, full of people to run the businesses in Brighton, because there's no kids that will work in this community. So there's no shortage of jobs. And I had a bicycle when I was a kid. I rode a bicycle 3, 4, 5 miles.
So did I.
So, like, bicycles, you can buy them for $25 anywhere in this town. 25 bucks. So I have a soft spot in my heart for people who need help, but there are people who need to be willing to take the initiative to go out and grab the opportunity that exists here. Every business in this town right now needs people, every one of them. There's not one business on Grand River Avenue that doesn't need employees. We don't need to bus anybody anywhere. They're all hiring up and down the street, including Myers. They got 88-year-old people working at Myers because they can't hire, there's no kids that will work.
Can I I appreciate this discussion, but I just want to maybe bring it back to what with future action is the course offerings exclusively, right? That was the start of the discussion.
That's our first, yes.
Can you clarify, are these premised on having that transportation? Is the community program that you want to offer next year, will that only be successful if you have additional transportation, or will that be offered regardless of whether that facility transportation is approved?
We'll make it work somehow, no matter what.
Okay.
It's that important to us. Currently, we use our own cars.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions? Mr. Vecchione, it's always a pleasure to have you back here. We appreciate all you're doing at the
trying.
bridge, and thank you very much.
Take care. Thank you so much.
All right, that concludes then the for future action portion of our agenda. Moves us to board committee chair reports, community recognition. Who would like to start? Dr. Krebs.
Academic committee, we discussed both of the things, the big ideas, the ELA and Mr. Vecchione's classes for the bridge, so that was our biggest discussion. And then we're meeting next June 1st to talk about ELA program.
I can go. Policy committee, you saw we voted today. I would say probably the next biggest thing coming your way is some changes to student handbooks. We would anticipate those coming to us shortly so that they can be approved in time to be posted online before registration starts in August. And then aside from that, I just wanted to encourage everyone to go to the art show, the district art show at the STEAM Center. There's tons of great projects there. It's really fun to see how much talent we have across this district at all grade levels, and appreciate the art teachers for being so creative. So.
Yeah, make sure that's green. There you go.
I cannot remember. Facilities Committee, meeting of 5/7. We talked about the transportation van. We've obviously covered that. Update on current summer program, work. Netting project is underway and should be done in about 2 weeks. Backfield turf is scheduled to start on the 18th. The main stadium will begin right after graduation. The gate on the Scranton Access Road was installed on the south end of the road. Also, the orchestra pit and BHS pit will be repaired in late summer. Funding the gym AC. This was something that was brought up by Mr. Storm at our meeting. We decided to bring it to the board. I know that we're going to have a much better venue to talk about it next meeting, it sounds like. That's going to be part of it. Perhaps you're good with moving it to that. Just discussion about whether or not we are going to go forward with some of the projects we talked about before we discussed a bond. Chillers are the drawings are nearly completed. Once done, an RFP will be posted publicly. Our next meeting will be on June 4th at 4:30.
I have are you going to comment about the facilities? So just 2 quick items, no dollars involved, just support from the district. I have a number of children who are in lacrosse. So my daughter Christina is in 8th grade lacrosse, and then my son Tyler plays junior varsity lacrosse. And we're new to lacrosse. I think Jennifer's been, her children have played for quite a while. So I don't know all the rules and the regulations and how the host team versus the visiting team works. But one thing that I've noticed that I wanted to bring up at a board meeting is when my daughter Christina's club team plays at Scranton, the scoreboard is never used and the PA system is never used. And so you have, if you're familiar with that field, most people sit near the handicap parking area there, by the bleachers, by the press box. And you can't see the little, what would you say, Jennifer? The little numbers on the opposite side of the football field are this big, and they have like the number 2 and 0. And from across a football field, I can't see, and I know a lot of the grandparents that attend can't see the little flip scorecard they use. And so I asked a parent, I said, who's been involved in lacrosse for a long time, I said, why don't we use the PA and why isn't the scoreboard on? And they said the school district, because it's a club team, and again, I don't know the nuances, it's a club team, they're not allowed to use the PA and they're not allowed to turn the scoreboard on. And I thought, that's odd because, we're all part of the Brighton community. Is that true? Does anybody know? John's shaking his head back there. Okay.
Didn't sound right.
Yeah, so who would I work with offline to try to run that to ground? Is that you or someone on your staff, John, or? I'll spread the word.
They need a key, probably get in though, right?
I'll figure it out offline then with you. I didn't know if someone, everyone was under the impression that it was a district policy. Okay. So the second item, I'll make this brief. I sent a video to everybody on the board, including Mr. Thompson and Dr. Outlaw. I was at a soccer game, JV game, before I came to the meeting this evening, and I noticed this at the prior meetings. For some reason, we, Brighton, are blocking off what is at the varsity football field, the visitor bleachers. And most of the people who attend these games, obviously, are parents and grandparents. And so there are elderly grandparents who, because we put a chain link across the entrance to the visiting stands, elderly grandparents have to walk from their car all the way around, past the concession stand to the home team side of the football field, climb up the steps onto the platform, and then go and find a seat. And literally tonight, we had an elderly grandparent who came with a walker, and he was physically impaired. Wouldn't be possible for him to walk around. And thankfully, the ladies that were at the gate flagged me down when I was walking out, and I went over and talked with him, and we were able to make accommodations for him. But it would be really nice if we could get whoever's putting those chain links up. If anything, we should block the home side of the field during lacrosse. There's 20 people in attendance roughly. It's in the video, take a look. So I think everyone that attends a lacrosse game could sit on the visiting side, and then we could just save having to clean up the whole other side of the field. So just sharing that as an idea, food for thought. I'll let whomever is responsible run with that one, but I wanted to bring it up because it was, you'll see in the video, there's an elderly grandpa, he can barely walk, and he was like, I need to walk over there, and so.
I just wanted to recognize our student nutrition team. On May 5th, they provided the first scratch-cooked meal for all 4 of our elementary schools, which was incredibly impressive. When we initially had discussed it, we talked about doing 2 pilot schools, and they did all 4. I went to 3 of the 4 buildings, and it was a resounding success. I've never seen so many empty trays of food. These kids were raving about it, asking when it was going to come back. You could smell it when you walked into the building. So it was a big success, and I'm so proud of all the hard work everybody put in. We haven't had a chance to digest it. That'll be next week, and hear, what we can do better or make changes, et cetera. But the effort that was put into it, I want to acknowledge because it was a big lift, and they found a way to make it work, and I'm very proud of them. And the kids loved it, most importantly, and ate a nutritious, healthy meal. So, thank you.
Sir Bain.
To piggyback on the facilities and the lacrosse, I just want to put this back on the board's radar that now that we were going to put a female locker room in for girls lacrosse at the field with the bond not passing, I think we need to figure out what we're going to do, because I still think it's unfair that the boys have a dedicated locker room and the girls do not. So I'd like to put that back on our radar of what we're going to do next.
Thank you. We had a finance committee report, or a finance committee meeting since our last meeting, primarily talked about the upcoming budget, topics we're going to be talking about, obviously, on May 19th. Reviewed information that was put together primarily by Mr. Thompson, kind of giving us an overview of the athletic teams, their funding through the district, fundraising, just to try to get an assessment of kind of the equity of the programs and the teams and what they're getting, and just to kind of get our hands and arms around the fundraising and just taking a look at it. And I know it was a lot of work, and I thank Mr. Thompson for looking at salaries and to make sure that we're competitive with other districts. And so we went through that. But the majority of it was talking about the budget, and we will be obviously talking about it in great detail on the 19th. All right. Anything further from anyone on that? I'll read that one, Ken.
I make a motion, the board go into closed session pursuant to section 8A of the Michigan Open Meetings Act for personal evaluation of Superintendent Dr. Matt Outlaw's request.
All right, with motion by Mr. Stahl. Do we have any support?
Support.
Support by Ms. Marks. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Ms. Ackermight.
Mr. Storm?
Yes.
Mrs. Urbane?
Yes.
Mrs. Tierney?
Yes.
Dr. Krebs? Yes. Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Marks?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. That passes 7-0. We will now be going into closed session for the superintendent evaluation. Thank you for coming this evening, and we will stand